don't know why we're starting with the Alice deck, the Tarot in Wonderland for a past life. I don't think I've ever done. Taking a look at what's going on. What I'm seeing so far is somebody else's choices caused major damage and heartache, and that there was a new choice that needed to be made because it was like this, like a house of cards that topples down. Somebody else destroyed your house or household. Now, I don't know how old you were when this happened, so give me a minute here. I think you were quite young. I don't think you'd even gotten to your teen years yet, and everything felt out of reach. Everything felt like a fatality. Everything felt oversized to you. And here you're defending, and you see things trying to balance. In this past life, it feels like you tried to balance things out. The masculine, whoever was the father energy in this, felt like you didn't ever have it together. The mother tried to keep things together. The mother tried to kind of take the lead, but she had to be the bad guy, and the father was not balanced or stable. The father was always selling something, maybe a good heart, but I'm getting like kind of like the traveling salesman that sells snake oil type of energy. And it wasn't so much that he was bad. He just didn't know what the fuck he himself was doing. He wasn't the world's best provider is what I'm getting back then. The balance that was sought, you got more of that balance over the years. The time of playing was gone. There was treachery and dreariness, and you're walking through things and you're not loving it. You're walking through a hazard zone because you have not been set up for success in that life. You haven't been set up as well as you would hope. Really, I don't even know if your parents had any business having kids that early, but that's what happened. So it became more and more dreary. Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands. This feels like where you felt like you were stuck. You married somebody sufficiently older than you, but it was your out. So you got out of the situation where things were hard by marrying older. And I don't know if that was a bad thing or not. I'm going to look a little further. This person would have been 10 to 12 years older than you, significantly older. Still had much to offer, but as both of you aged and get older and older, it's harder for you because you're coming into your stride, and this one is getting a little too damn old. I think you spend some time evaluating where things have been. And there's a phrase called the 7-year itch. I don't think it happened at 7 years for you. 7 of Pentacles, you're evaluating. 7 of Cups, you're seeing things but not as they are. The Magician's in the house. Knight of Coins is here. You're seeing your folly in this, and the King of Swords. I think this is about 9 to 10 years. 9 to 10 years? 9 to 10 years. By the 11th year, things had shifted again. What happened? You had all the treasures put back in, set aside. The person that this older man was, he was set enough. You didn't have financial struggle or worry. But you had all of this stuff set aside. 11 years in, things were going downhill on his end, but you were doing okay. Some reason your mom comes in and is demanding. Not because she's a harsh shrew or anything. She just is in need, doesn't know what she's doing. Who knows what's happened with your dad at this point, but your mom is somebody that you have to take on for a bit to make sure she's okay. You are not loving that. gets you all bitter and pissy. It's like, why? Always on the treadmill, always on the chase, always trying to figure things out, just to be in a space where you can kind of have some time. It's okay to just be you, to enjoy things. And you haven't gotten a lot of that by then. It's been difficult. Tower comes in, and the one true thing is that even if you build, help your mom, help your dad, even if he were to cross your path, even if you help, it doesn't serve. That's the one true thing. Yeah, your mom returns to your dad somewhere along the ways, but this is like a year and a half later, and your dad he's still not a whole lot better, but she definitely cares for him, but she's like, it's not my monkeys, not my zoo, pertaining to your parents rather than your children. Not my monkeys, not my zoo. So that's what's going on there. Now, is there anything else about whether you actually had kids or what in this life? Oh boy. It's like you had one carried away. You had what feels like you miscarried one. You were a little bit more cautious going forward on things like that. You were a little bit more balanced, but you were cautious on things like that. Because your person was older, they were more gentle. They weren't, the person you married, the person you took as your partner, the older gentleman, he was very, very good heart to you. You were very, very happy in it. This is like when he passes, you're left behind, but you're happy, but you're on your own. I think you had at least one miscarriage, maybe more than that, but you didn't end up having children from him. So that's what I've got so far on there. Let's look a little further. Going forward 5 years from there. 5 years from there, there's lots going on, but there is a freedom. It's a mixed bag for you, because you like the freedom that you have. You like the ability to maneuver a little better in the world, but you do feel a little forlorn, a little lost. This is where you're trying to figure out what's going on your own, and it's this feels like very throwback energy. So then you go into thinking of your past with your spouse, your person, your husband, whoever. It feels like you recognize that you missed something along the way. And the Chariot. So you're going forward, but you missed it. It's like if you guys, if you two in this life had been more even in your ages, you would have operated entirely different. He came through to protect you because he knew you would be having difficult times in this particular life. The older guy, the husband that's older than you, he came through. Previous life, he probably wouldn't have been that old. He would have kept pace with you. He would have kept speed with you. He came through specific for you because he knew it would be that difficult. We're getting the Strength card on this all over the place. This is the 8 of coins, but it's the Strength card. It's doing the day in, day out. Something about the 8. Something about the 8. This is just telling me about that. There is a lesson not to sabotage, not to shortchange yourself, and not to have doubt going on from here that you take from this. Nevertheless, you proceed with very much care and caution going forward. And this is like, it feels like the 8th time around that you and this older gentleman have been in each other's energy, is what it feels like. So in this particular life that we're reading, he was significantly older. If we were to look back even further, you would probably find him evenly paired. So we're going to do that. We're going to look and see what we find for the back. King of Coins, Queen of Cups. Now that's beautiful. This is like, if you go back, the time before, maybe 2 times before, even match, even pairing. You have the King of Coins, very, very grounded. Queen of Cups, very emotional. Have high anxiety, and the Swords about a death that would have happened. And 7 Wands and boundaries. This person very protective of you all around, every time, very, very protected. Some of what you learn as you go in each lifetime is how to stand strong on your own, how to hold your own, because he could do this for you till the end of time, but this is something you're learning to do for yourself, to hold your own boundaries, hold true to them. Oh yeah. This is definitely a protective energy, a guarded energy. This is showing a mother and son, but it feels more like his energy towards you. Not that he was your mother, but that he wanted to make sure you were squared away, that you were okay. It's why he would have come in older. 7 of Cups. This is you knowing that there would be another time around, another go around, and having lots of opportunities. And for a moment, for a little moment in the span of the Akashic field, in the huge span, it's going to feel choppy, turbulent, not easy, not even or smooth. It doesn't seem like that phases you one bit. Yeah. This is him totally being sheltered in this storm. There's just no other way to put it. Not at all. And the 8 of Cups. When you're without this person, you feel definitely like a piece is missing, and that feels very cheesy. It feels like, I think we're all whole in and of ourselves, and when we bring our whole self to a relationship, someone else brings them self as a whole person to the relationship. It's happier going on. But there is karmically, cosmically, long term, if he's not close by, then you feel like you're missing something. And it might not be that in every single lifetime that you would recognize him right away. You wouldn't. There's always big love being held out for you. Always, always, always. Wow. He doesn't ever leave you alone in the battlefield. So in this life that we were here with the Wonderland deck, when he dies, he doesn't just leave. He will still stand guard over you no matter what. It's just how he does. Anything else here? He probably will come through as quite the Romeo. This shows the Romeo tendency on his side. It's very much, not so much you are bound to him, he is bound to you. This is 2 of the lifetimes that have been, 1 and 2, but this explains more of that. Anything else you need to know going forward? Is there carryover lessons in love that you'll be able to see anytime soon? Now, just because we have this going on in a past life doesn't mean all the lessons carry over in the same way. Doesn't mean we show up in the same gender, the same race or social status or anything. But there's a devotion here. There's a devotion. There will be distractions. There's a vulnerability going on. Not knowing all the moves to make. Not knowing all the correct things. It's like there's keys to what's going on. There's records and references in words somewhere. Somewhere in like books or in story, in what is the common story. And it doesn't feel star-crossed Romeo and Juliet like that at all. It doesn't feel. It feels like, yeah, you guys are definitely fated, but it's not like a tragedy. Don't let the mask you wear be something that you can't see who you are, And don't let the masks that you might see fool you, is what's coming through. It's you're in a garden that's dangerous garden more than you realize right now. Like you're in a hazardy period of time. This is saying get a little perspective. You don't have all the pieces, but you are coming closer. You don't have all the pieces, but you're coming closer. There will be a message or a note or a reaching out that comes through. It's like, it's even got the old-fashioned phone call. There's a reaching out that comes through that carries over time. It's like somehow there's an attempt to reconnect. An attempt to reconnect over time. There he is. There's an attempt to reconnect over time. This is showing him again. Kind of sad, a little concerned, a little worried. A little bit of your defiance is still there, and you need to grow the fuck up in this lifetime. You haven't yet, and that's okay. It's not like something that wouldn't be understood, but the little bit of defiance you carry, that is the difference that we saw in the age here, the youth and the elder, or so, the youth and the, not even slightly, significantly older. For that period of time, 12 years would have been significant. The time we're in now, of course it wouldn't be. It would be medium significant, right? But there's still this youthful defiance in you, and there's this maturing that's happening on your side where you're taking on more and taking on more. This is the lessons you're learning in this life. Lessons of faith, lessons of how you fit, lessons of where you want to evolve. And really, a nod to the circus of some sort. This is like the nod to the circus and a little bit trapped in time. This is like an alternate view. Okay, it's like an alternate view. He's holding out and waiting. The sheltering that you learn to do for yourself is important. And the defiance isn't just necessarily being a shit or anything. It's also understanding the ugly duckling story where you've got the duck to swan type of thing. It's also understanding where you are in that. Understanding your swan. You haven't quite figured that out yet, but you will. That's what I've got for you. Holy cow. Wow. This is the lesson you're learning, and he'll walk with you every lifetime until it comes with more ease. And where he is in this particular lifetime, I don't know. I tried to get Snoopy on that kind of thing, and I was getting more the lesson you needed to know than what this person would look like right now. So that's what I got. Holy camole. Wow.